Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Enjoying your day. It's been one hell of a day for me. Happy to be here with you guys and chopping up with you guys about all this stuff that's going on. This particular piece of news, I kind of wanted to, chop it up with you guys about something a little bit different today. And it's kind of a catch up on another story that we have, that I've covered in the past. So I'm really, really happy to be here. And I'm actually really happy about this news. This is big news surrounding this particular story. And hopefully this particular family, Christian's family, will get some peace. Maybe this is a step towards actual justice for the Obumseli family, okay? Because real talk, this story is absolutely mind-blowing. And the fact that it took this long for this to happen is absolutely mind-blowing to me, okay? So I'm just going to say that out loud. It is really mind-blowing to me. And there's a bunch of different stories about Christian or Toby. His family likes to call him Toby, but his name is Christian Toby Obumseli, the victim in this story. All right. I know that he has kind of a very flavorful, spicy background, okay, for the things that he's put out on the twits. And we're gonna discuss that too, but at the same time, at least the family's gonna get some justice for their loved one and young man, for this young man, period. Okay, so we got to get into this story because I know a lot of y'all may not know who we're talking about, may not know this story, this particular story. So I wanted to give you guys a quick jog down memory lane about all this. So before we get into everything, all right, do me a solid, all right, because there's a gang of different stories I could be talking right now, which I will be talking about in the very near future. So please do me a favor, hit that like button down below, crush it, make it scream out your damn name. All right, this is new, this is breaking. I had another story set up, ready to go to talk about, and this just fell into my lap. So please do me a favor, getting you guys the exclusive information right now, breaking news right now about surrounding this particular unaliving of this young man. There may be some justice for this young man down the bend. So please hit that like button down below. Send it past 100 likes really quick. I see a bunch of y'all starting to file in. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon to every single last one, y'all. I appreciate all you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. And for those of y'all who haven't done it yet, that are watching, you know what I mean? You're watching in the off on the sides and in the wings and all that. Please, in the nosebleed seats even, please do me a favor, crush that subscribe button. All right. Be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. We have got to get into this. This is a story that we covered months ago, y'all. And now we're getting some fresh, new information around this OnlyFans model. And her stage name is Courtney Taylor, but her real name is Courtney Clenney. She has now been arrested in Hawaii, and she is being charged with second-degree muerte. Yes. We got to talk about it. So please do me a favor. Get comfortable. Grab yourself a libation, as long as you're not behind as long as you're not operating heavy machinery right now. If you're in your private domicile or at a friend's home, enjoy that libation. Please drink responsibly. Let's get into these stories, shall we? Because we got some stories to tell, okay? I'm happy to be back with you guys. I missed you guys today. I was thinking about you guys a lot today. Real talk. I know that sounds really corny, and like I'm just scripting this, but it's not. I literally was thinking about you guys a lot today. So I'm happy to be back with you guys, chopping it up with you guys about this particular story. So here it is. We got to go into a little bit of a background, like a little bit of a backup story about everything that led up to this particular moment right here. We have a woman by the name of Courtney Clenney, her government name, okay? Her GOVT name is Courtney Clenney. She also goes by Courtney Taylor, got a bunch of followers on the IG, bunch of followers on the OF, all right? She is known mainly on her OF for her content, for her spicy photos and spicy content. No shame in her game, not saying anything about that. But what's interesting is how this is all going to come back to OF here in just a minute. So sit tight. It gets very interesting. All right. Now, this woman was in a relationship with a man by the name of Christian Obumseli. They were in a 2-year relationship, and suddenly, out of nowhere, in their Miami apartment, they get into some sort of altercation, which leads this young man to be unalive and her covered head to toe in red. And you know what I mean by red. Unfortunately, we have to use these code words because this is how these are the breaks. Okay. So now the cops, and we're going to look at a news clip here in a second. Cops take her in. They enact the Florida Bakers Act, which basically says they are going to surveillance her, keep an eye on her, because when they went and picked her up, she was claiming, another code word, that she was going to Sean Kingston herself. And if you don't know what Sean Kingston is, check out his music. He had a #1 hit, pretty much the only #1 hit he had. Okay. Sean Kingston. All right. So they enacted the Florida Bakers Act because they were worried about her doing something bad to herself, that she was going to erase her own self off of this planet. But then later, she was released to the world. And everyone sat there saying, what the hell? This makes no sense, because you see a woman sitting here unaliving her boyfriend, and now she's out here kicking rocks and having her cake and eating it too, breathing in this freedom air. There's more information about this. We're going to get into that here in a second, but I just wanted to give you some of the broad strokes and also give you a trip down memory lane, if you will, on this news clip. So let's take a look at this right quick, shall we?
Developments and a bloody stabbing death in a Miami high-rise.
A man working in the growing cryptocurrency industry found dead inside his home, and his girlfriend, an Instagram star, seen covered in blood. Local 10's Alex Finney, live of what she's learned so far. Alex.
And so, Nicole and Louie, we just finished speaking with the family of Christian Obumseli. They just finished speaking with the state attorney's office here and remain confident in this investigation. But we also want to show you now, pivoting just a little bit, back to the scene, that video that we actually got from TMZ.
This is
showing
crazy.
A bloody 25-year-old Courtney Clenney, that Instagram star that you just mentioned there, moments after her boyfriend was stabbed to death. Now, police say that Clenney was in fact the one that stabbed 27-year-old Christian Obumseli to death inside their Miami apartment. This is right off of 7th Avenue. He was stabbed in the shoulder and later died at the hospital. Now, it's a really, really interesting story here because you have a lot of different details, a lot of different sides. Friends that were close to the couple say that their relationship, it was tumultuous, it was violent. Some say that she was the aggressor and that she suffers from mental illness.
Okay. Now, I'm going to continue this news clip, but I just wanted to point something out. And this is what's so tragic about this particular story, because there were different stories being told. Some people said that she was the only one that put paws on him and no one ever saw him put paws on her. Some other people said that he was the one that was the aggressor. And then there's other people out here that said they both were aggressors towards each other. All right, that the feeling was mutual and that they introduced violence, the language of violence, in their relationship mutually. I just want to make that abundantly clear real quick. But as you can see in this video right here, this woman is covered, her face all the way down to her feet, covered in his red, covered. But notice, she's kissing her dog. She's letting her dog lick her face, all this stuff. It's absolutely, it's crazy. It's just strange to me. To me, it's just a little strange. Okay. It's just a little strange, but let me continue with this. But like I said, so many different, there's varying stories that are out here. And yet this woman was let go, and just recently detained. Today was recently detained, but let's continue. And also where she was detained says a lot as well, because there's stories about something else, which I'll get to in a little bit. I don't mean to get ahead of myself, but I get excited and I want to give you guys all the goodies, all the cookies. Okay, but let's get back to memory lane, shall we?
Now, a neighbor that we also spoke with this past week says that we know Clenney in this instance, she is claiming self-defense. She actually had to be Baker acted after being brought in for questioning because she was threatening to kill herself.
Boom.
We spoke with the victim's family again just a few moments ago. They tell us that there is just no way that Abumseli put his hands on her. Take a listen.
Devastation doesn't quite describe what my family's experiencing right now. Yesterday, we finally told our 93-year-old grandmother that her grandson, who was expected to come home to Texas to visit for his 28th birthday, will no longer or ever be returning home. We have not had an opportunity to even start to grieve the loss of our family, of our brother, cousin, son.
Now, Clenney's attorney, Frank Prieto, sent our station this statement saying here, clearly, none of this was intended, and Courtney is struggling mentally with the aftermath of what occurred that evening. This is a tragedy for all involved, but it was not criminal conduct. Courtney was defending herself, and the investigation will reveal exactly that.
Now, here's the thing. All right, let's be real. There could have been a possibility of her actually defending herself, that this was an act of self-defense. Obviously, that could very well be what it is. That could. But still, my question my burning questions that I have inside of me, one of the main ones is, was there any marks on her body? Was there any proof of an actual physical altercation between she and Toby and Christian? All right. What actually went on inside that apartment that would garner for her to say self-defense? It's easy for us to quickly say self-defense. Easy. It's very, very easy. Okay. But that still doesn't mean that you have proof of said self-defense. Where's the proof? So far, we haven't heard anything of that sort yet. And of course, the lawyer has to lawyer and say, oh yeah, this was not intentional. This was an act of self-defense, so on and so forth. But hey, we have seen many, many people cry wolf. Real talk. Many. All right. Why is she being arrested right now? 4 months later. Yeah, 4 months later? Yeah, 4 months later. If it was just an act of self-defense. Let's finish this real quick, and then we're going to go on to this article.
Now, at this point, still no charges have been filed in this case. We will continue to follow that for you. For now, this is the very latest.
Now, the thing is that there's a lot of people that are very upset about this, y'all. A lot of people were upset about this, basically saying, why is this white woman being able to get away with taking the life of this black man, so on and so forth. And of course, people have dove in even more, trying to go in on Christian and his tweets and all that have not been very savory. Let's be real. All right. But it does not mean that this man deserves to be erased from this planet and erased from this world. It's just not right, in my personal opinion. So, still doesn't mean that is the right to take somebody's life. I don't care. It's just not right. So people sit there and go, hey, I'm wondering what the hell is going on here. Why would this suddenly mean that this person is out here on the free? Why is she free to run around and do whatever the hell she wants? Apparently the 5-0 got lazy. We're going to get into that in a second, but I wanted to show you guys one more news clip just to kind of send it all the way home so you guys can get just a quick reminder of them.
Interview you'll only see on Local 10 News with the parents of a man who was stabbed to death by his own girlfriend, and she is claiming self-defense, but his family says police have already botched the investigation. Local 10's Roy Ramos live now in Miami with that exclusive interview tonight. Roy.
Splat out.
Calvin, it's been nearly 2 weeks since this fatal stabbing that happened right here at this apartment building, and no arrests have been made. Today, I spoke to the family of the man who was killed, and they say it is his girlfriend, an Instagram influencer who was the aggressor in all of this, and she is the one who should be facing charges.
My son was just treated like nobody.
A mother in tears and a family devastated after they said their loved one, 27-year-old Christian Abumseli, was stabbed to death by his own girlfriend, 25-year-old Courtney Clenney.
I just want justice.
11 days after the fatal stabbing, and there have been no arrests in the case. City of Miami police said there was a struggle between Abumseli and Clenney before she stabbed him in the shoulder. He later died in the hospital.
My brother is a very kind person, one of the most loving people that you know. He would never do such a thing.
Shortly after the stabbing, video from TMZ captured by a neighbor showed Clenney covered in blood, cuffed on the floor of their luxury Miami apartment. Investigators now trying to determine if she acted in self-defense.
We have no cause to believe that this was an act of self-defense.
There's no evidence to corroborate her allegation, and that's the problem.
I spoke with Larry Hanfield, the attorney representing the Abumseli family, who tells me they've gathered evidence from independent witnesses to indicate Courtney was the aggressor, a claim her attorney adamantly denies, saying she was a victim of repeated domestic violence and acted out of fear for her life.
Justice needs to prevail. She should be charged.
So we did reach out to the attorney representing Clenney, requesting an interview today. That interview request was denied, saying she's now going through therapy and still recovering from this traumatic event. As for this investigation, it is still ongoing, and the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office is now looking into it.
Yes, of course she's going through therapy. Of course she's going through some things because she just took a man's life, someone that she claimed to love, period. Whether it was self-defense or not, I'm sure that's a lot on a person's mind. But let me say, there are also speculations of her actually having mental health issues way before this incident went down. So we don't even know what is true, what is not true. There are theories and speculation of other things, like recreational drugs, the use of it in her life. It's like I said, this is just very, very interesting. And of course, God knows what kind of relationship they had behind closed doors. Everything is, on Instagram is a highlight reel. Everything's the perfect lighting, the perfect setting, the happiest moments, or the happiest, the most fabricated happiest moments. But as soon as the phone goes down, phone gets put back in the pocket, back to regular life, back to drama, back to tension, back to jealousy, back to substance issues, so on and so forth. But here's the thing. Here's the information that we are all looking for right now. So we already know there was an altercation. This man is no longer here. She was found covered in head to toe in red. Let me just say that one more time. Everyone was upset. A lot of people were upset on why is this woman still out here in these streets, breathing in this freedom air when she just took this man's life. Not once did someone actually say, no, we should lock her up because this looks suspicious. And we find out in this particular article I'm about to show you in a second that the Miami PD, or I guess the detectives that were involved in investigating this, done dropped the damn ball. And now, right here, OF star Courtney Clenney is arrested. And guess where she's arrested at? A rehab facility. Why would you say a rehab facility? We're going to find out here in a second. But she was in a rehab facility. She was arrested in Hawaii and charged with unaliving her boyfriend inside their apartment. Model who was seen covered head to toe being questioned by cops hours after his demise in April. We all seen the video. You just saw it a second ago. She's sitting there, handcuffed, scantily clad, covered in red, kissing her dog, letting her dog lick her face, so on and so forth. It's very, very interesting information. And it's heartbreaking and a shocking view to see after she has done such a terrible, terrible crime. All right? So, let me just say this really quick. She's in a rehab facility right now for substance abuse and post-traumatic disorder. So this is what happened while she was in rehab. She was arrested, but while she was in rehab, she was I guess she was trying to find healing and try to fight off some of these addictions that she allegedly, what other people have claimed that she had. It's very interesting. So let's go into this, Howie. So now, Courtney has been arrested at a rehab facility in Hawaii and charged with unaliving her boyfriend at their Miami home. Courtney Clenney insisted that she took his life, Christian Obumseli, in self-defense. Yet on Wednesday, today, police in Hawaii detained her ahead of extradition back to Florida. Remember, this whole thing happened in Miami, and now her butt is in Hawaii in rehab. And this is what her lawyer said, okay? I'm completely shocked, especially since we were cooperating with the investigation and offered to voluntarily surrender her if she were charged. We look forward to clearing her name in court. Okay. And here she is. Obviously, we if you don't know who she is, this is Courtney, just so you all know who the person is. All right? And here's the couple, okay? In one of their happy moments. There's Christian Obumseli and Courtney Clenney, or Courtney Taylor, on OF. All right? And of course, this photo, look at that. That's covered. You see her jogging pants, her sweats, covered in red. Come on, y'all. And of course, there's photos of her and him happy together. You know, all these things captured on IG. So Clenney and Obumseli, a cryptocurrency trader, had been dating less than 2 years, and their relationship was tumultuous. She was arrested for DV, basically DV, in Las Vegas. Let's just say that again. There's a history. She was arrested before for DV in Las Vegas, and police were called to their home in Austin, Texas on several occasions. Again, another batch of history of absolute DV and language of violence within this relationship. And they're saying that she was the one that was actually arrested for DV, not him. Just want to send that home real quick, y'all. The pair moved to Miami at the beginning of the year, and yet staff and residents at the One Paraiso building where they lived reported multiple domestic disturbance complaints about the couple and had even moved to evict them. So you got a couple that, I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot for a whole building to sit there and go, these two are too much, y'all. we need to cut them loose. We need to get them out. They need to go to another place because we can't handle the fights and the BS. But again, I will point this out. This may not be mutual. It could be one-sided. She could just be flying off the handle. Or it could be him too. We have to play it safe. Or not play it safe, but play it square. Play it even. It could be him. It could be her. It could be both of them at the same damn time, you know? But then again, it's crazy. This whole thing is crazy. And it takes a lot for a hotel or an apartment complex to sit there and go, we need you to leave. It's not because you're not paying the rent on time. It's actually because we can't handle the domestic violence. It's because we can't handle the fights. That takes a lot. Okay? That takes a lot. So her lawyer said on the night of the 3rd, Courtney was forced to poke Obumseli after he grabbed her by the neck. Now, his brother in April was angered by her not being charged immediately over Christian's demise, saying it was because of her privilege as a wealthy white woman and not because of her self-defense claim. I do think that there's a bit of it of, you see a girl, she, maybe aesthetically or to what people see as beautiful, they see her, oh, she's pretty, so on and so forth. They instantly feel bad for her. There's also the general bias that happens all the time when it comes to DV, that say it's kind of the same thing that happened with AH and JD. I hate to say it like that, but quickly everybody was quick to believe her and not believe him, right? This could very well be the same situation. It could also just be a mutual thing of them just going after each other. That could also be it too. But isn't it interesting that the cops instantly said, oh yeah, this is a typical open and shut case. He got aggressive. He put his paws on her. She took his life in self-defense. It's done. Go on home, girl. Have a Rice Krispie treat and a glass of wine on us. So sorry that happened to you. Instead of actually doing their due diligence and look into the actual case, because it could very well be something completely different. But welcome to what we are in right now, right? So, Courtney, who also on OF is known as Courtney Taylor, then called 911 and claimed she was acting in self-defense when she did this thing to him in the shoulder. But in a statement posted to Instagram, the victim's brother, Jeffrey, and his family wrote that they do not believe Courtney and demand that she be charged with killing the brother that they called Toby Christian, okay? The model was also caught on video covered in red on her high-rise balcony just after the incident. The model was caught on video, covered in red, on her high-rise balcony just after the incident. Not in handcuffs. So what was she doing? What was she doing? Moving on. Bottom line, it is absolutely clear. Courtney is being treated differently. And this is what they said in this on Instagram. She is being treated differently because of her privilege as a wealthy white woman. This is what they said. Within 24 hours, and it's true, because within 24 hours following Toby's death, the detective on the case prematurely concluded that this was not a crime of violence. Within 24 hours, less than 24 hours, you already know, oh no, this is not a crime of violence. This was totally self-defense. How do you know? You sure you went through everything, bruh? You sure you went through everything? All the evidence, all that stuff. You sure? So then they let her go. Here they are together, seemingly happy. Seemingly. Crazy. The victim's brother also slammed Courtney in his Instagram post for videos that emerged following the incident that show her covered in red, kissing her dogs, and then ordering drinks at a hotel bar, which we're going to take a look at that really quick. But we covered this a couple months ago, y'all. Let's keep it real. So she out here going, oh my God, I just did this, this, and this. I can't believe it was self-defense, self-defense, self-defense. Everybody and their mama's looking at her in some type of way, thinking that a large majority of people are looking at her in a very interesting way. And instead of her actually just maybe going to that hotel room where she was meeting her father, instead of going down into the lobby, maybe going up into the hotel room with her father and just chilling with her father, she decides to go to the bar at the hotel to grab a drink. This is days, not even days after she had taken this man's life. Does that seem right to you? To me, it doesn't seem right. The math does not work for me. The math is not mathing for me on this one. You take somebody's life and you are remorseful for it. You're not at a bar. You're not in a public place chilling in the cut trying to grab a Cosmo with Paw. I'm sorry. It just don't work for me. Okay? We're going to look at that video here shortly because it's here. It's in this article too. Okay? We've seen videos. Okay? And of course, this is weird. This is crazy. But the brother says, we've seen videos of Courtney kissing her dogs while covered in what we believe to be my brother's red and casually getting drinks at a hotel bar days later while my brother lays in a morgue. And yeah, it's kind of hard. It's not like she just spilled Kool-Aid all over herself. That really is it is his red. I'm sorry for using these code words, but I got to. All right. And yes, Charlie Miller, I do agree. This is fishy as hell. All right. I got a super chat. Let me grab that really quick before it totally disappears. Honey Badger, thank you so much for the 5. RIP to Christian Obamselli. Peace and justice to his family. I totally agree. Thank you so much for the 5. I really do appreciate the support. Thank you so very much. Like I said, crazy. All right. And this woman still out here chilling in the cut. All right. Do me a favor real quick. Hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes for me really quick. I see a bunch of y'all coming in, filing in. A lot of y'all are trying to get hip to what's going on, to this new news. This is literally just broke this evening. And so I wanted to hop on and be one of the first to talk about it. And of course, for those of y'all who haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. Be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, let's continue on. Now, her own attorney pushed back. All right. Because, we obviously the video, there's video of her at this hotel chilling out with her dad. And then the girl who's actually holding the phone, filming everything, is sitting there going, the hell is wrong with you? You just took a man's life and you out here, you down here trying to grab a cocktail? The hell is wrong with you? And she gets scared off, basically. She gets up and just scurries off, which, yeah, I would have said the same damn thing. The hell is wrong with you? You took a man's life and you here chilling like it's nothing? That doesn't help your cause. That doesn't help the plea that if you're sitting there saying, I'm innocent. That doesn't work for me, y'all. So the attorney pushed back against this claim, saying, now this is the part that don't make no sense to me, y'all. So come on with me. The statement about Courtney, quote unquote, casually getting drinks is absolutely false. Ain't that what she does? I could have sworn that is what she does. But apparently this lawyer doesn't know what he's talking about, because the next sentence is weird. Courtney was not casually getting drinks at a hotel bar. Courtney was sitting at an unattended table in the hotel lobby that also has a bar. Huh? But say what? I'm sorry. Hold up. I need to hold the phone for this one real quick, because somebody make this make sense for me. How does this work? Because they're at the Miami Grand Beach Hotel. This ain't no Holiday Inn. Shoot, this ain't no Motel 6 where the lobby is the front desk. It's a big ass lobby. So this girl could have been anywhere in the lobby. Just saying, she could have sat and chilled in the lobby, chilling. And yet, she decides to sit closest to the bar. Okay. She wasn't there to get drinks. She was there to sit at the bar or sit at the lobby that was near the bar. Yet this hotel is massive lobby. But she decides to sit closest to the bar. Somebody make it make sense. Make it make sense, y'all. So the lawyer also added that her father was in town. This does not make sense. So follow the bouncing ball. The father was in town and that they were having drinks, then left because a woman was berating them for no reason. Okay, let's do this again, okay? So they're at the Grand Beach Hotel, okay? The attorney says there's no drinks. She wasn't there getting drinks. No drinks at all. Yet in the last sentence, he says her father was in town and they were having drinks. Then make it make sense. He just went, they weren't there to have drinks. They were sitting down and having drinks. Okay. Okay. They weren't there to have drinks, but they were there having drinks. And then, of course, a woman was berating them for no reason. No, there was a reason. It was because, let's be real, you done took a man off this planet, and days later, you're at a hotel bar, chilling, having a martini with your pops, like nothing ever bloody happened. Days later. This wasn't even weeks, not even months. Days later. So this part is something that is necessary because the family does speak out about Christian Obumseli's tweets. Now, here's the thing, because I've seen a bunch of videos surrounding this story. There's been a lot of people who are just stating the facts, stating the story, stating what happened. And there's been other ones that have been going in on these tweets that Christian Obumseli had put out. And let me tell you, they're not cute. All right. They're not pretty. They're very off color. Get what I did there? Very off color remarks. Not good at all and disgusting. But at the same time, it does not mean that this person should not be on this planet. Okay. What he did and what he said was wrong. So a lot of people were going in on Christian because of these old tweets, right? They were talking ill on the dead, right? And that made, obviously, the family have to step forward and say something. So here is one of the statements that they said. As a family, we strongly disagree with the ignorant and repulsive tweets from my then high school aged brother that have recently surfaced. However, the tweets do not diminish our demand for a thorough investigation into Toby's murder or negate the necessity for justice. It's been a week since my brother was brutally and senselessly unalived. Courtney Clenney's callous actions have not been met with an ounce of remorse. We've seen videos of Courtney kissing her dogs while covered in what we believe to be my brother's blood and casually getting drinks at a hotel bar days later while my brother lays in a morgue. Now, of course, they were talking about all this because let's be real. People were very upset about these old tweets that resurfaced when people went in and did their due diligence and dove in to find out who this guy was. And unfortunately, things that he said were not good. And what they're claiming is these were tweets that he said when he was much younger. Like I said, he shouldn't have said those things. Doesn't matter if you're young or old, whatever. I do believe people grow up, people change, people mature, hopefully. I would assume that he was a different person now or before his demise than he was back then when he was a teenager. If not, then that's another conversation. But that still does not mean that that young man does not deserve justice, period. Or this does not mean that he doesn't deserve to have the truth out there on what actually happened to him in that apartment complex. Because it could have been him putting his paws on her. It could have been that, y'all. We have to play that side of the fence too. That could have been it too. And it might not have been. Okay. It might not have. Okay. And I've already read a part of all this right here. We have a long legal battle ahead of us to ensure justice is served. I need your support. My family needs your support. We cannot do this without community. God bless us all. And this is obviously from Jeffrey Christian, aka Toby's brother. Okay. Now, of course, that same photo, but blown up of them being happy together. All right. Obviously, I'm assuming this is either an IG photo or this is something that you see on OF. Okay. And of course, there's a GoFundMe. They raised more than $72,000 on his GoFundMe page to pay for his funeral and to bring his body back home to Texas. Okay. And of course, the family's still wanting to find answers to this situation. They have taken now, obviously, we already know that Courtney was taken into custody for the Florida's Baker Act because she was basically saying, while this is what we heard in the video or in that news clip, she was claiming that she was going to do something unthinkable to herself when she was being interrogated. All right. That still doesn't mean anything. She could be crying wolf, or it could be her really distraught about what happened. Right. That could very well be it too. Now we already know about the GoFundMe. His life was taken. Christian's life was taken a week before his 28th birthday. It's crazy that I'm sure the family can only imagine what kind of like this new reality is. It's crazy to think that their own loved one is no longer here in such a fashion. All right. His unaliving leaves many unanswered questions and creates a void that can never be fixed or filled, not even with time. Christian was extremely compassionate with a desire always to uplift those around him. He did not deserve for his life to be cut short by a heinous act of violence. And this is what is being said. Now, this right here in this photo is the actual photo or a still from a video of her. This is Courtney in the hotel lobby next to the bar. And if you can see this blue light right behind her, what do you think that be? What that look like? Yeah, that be the bar, though. That be the damn bar. Okay? So she out here. And even just looking at this right here alone, that is just quick little clips. Look how big that hotel lobby is. They could have gone anywhere else. Anywhere else. Shoot, she could have gone up and chilled in her papa's hotel room, but they're right next to the bar. And let me just say this too, you know, because I gotta try to keep it even to a certain extent. I get it. I get it that you just did something that you never thought you'd ever do in your whole entire life. You are grieving your own self, the nerves, the anxiety, the everything, right? Sure, man, I could use a stiff drink to calm these nerves. I can't believe this just happened, so on and so forth, right? I get that. But in public, do it at home in the privacy of your own private domicile, or order room service, for crying out loud. Why sit in public like this? This looks bad. This is sloppy. Sloppy. Okay? And of course, you know, she's getting, you know, I don't think she's being berated. I think she's getting a slap of reality in her face saying, hey, sweetie, what the hell are you doing here? You just took a man's life and you're sitting right next to us? Bye. Go. Kick rocks. We don't care if your pops is here. This is wrong. And you out here free. And this man is, like the brother said, in the morgue, chilling on a slab. Ridiculous, y'all. So here's some very interesting information here as well. Okay. As she is dealing with her, you know, this is when she got her, like right now, as of what we know so far, she was arrested recently. She has been charged with second-degree unaliving. All right. And what's interesting is what else I'm going to say here in just a few seconds. So the couple have been, the couple's friends have been giving conflicting reports about who was the actual aggressor. Some say they never saw Obumseli becoming violent with his girlfriend, but that they had seen her hit him before. We've seen her hit him. I've never seen him hit her, said Ashley Vaughn, one of the couple's friends. She told Local 10, from what we've personally experienced between the both of them, I believe that Christian would put her in a position where she would need to, she wouldn't, I'm sorry. We believe that Christian would not put her in a position where she would need to, you know, poke him to protect herself. After his demise, this part is the interesting stuff. After his demise, fresh, brand new, X-rated content appeared on her OnlyFans page. It's unclear if she had pre-planned it to go live before the unaliving of him. Now, the thing is, this is very interesting as well, because let's be real. And this was a debate that they talked about before. Because there's ways you can like batch shoot or have those things scheduled, and then they just go out on a scheduled time. That could be it too. But from what I've heard from other detectives and private eyes and all that stuff, they say that there's no such thing as a coincidence. So I put that out to you guys. Could this be a coincidence? Or is she riding on the fact that her name is out there more? People are looking her up. So she started putting out content as quickly as she could to see if she can secure a bag. Or a couple more bags. Something to think about. Something to think about. Okay? And that was something that we talked about a long time before when this first came out. But I wanted to drive that home. Quick little reminder that content was out here after he had passed on, and it was X-rated content. So what is it? What kind of X-rated content? Because it could be a varying amount of different types of content when it comes to X-rated stuff, right? Was it solo dolo? Or did she have a new swing partner? You know? In this content. Inquiring minds would like to know. Dragonfly Kisses, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. As a survivor myself, I have some mixed feelings with the way she acted after taking someone's life. Just doesn't add up to me, her story. Just saying. Yeah, it doesn't add up to me either. Now, there's also been speculation and stories about her actual mental health, that maybe she was mentally not okay, that she was dealing with her own mental health, and that maybe this could have been a psychotic break and she just attacked him for no reason. Or it could have been one of their routine fights that just became deadly. That could be it as well. Okay? Could very well be it as well. Now, I wanted to show you guys this other article really quick. Actually, I'm not going to show you that one right now, but I wanted to show you guys this clip, and this is from We in Miami podcast. Okay? Basically, it's kind of the same. It's almost the same setup as Fresh and Fit. You remember those guys? Okay. Kind of like a Fresh and Fit type of vibe. You know, a bunch of OnlyFans models and models and Instagram, you know what I mean? And then a couple guys all in the same room, you know, lots of fluorescent lights and all that stuff. But I wanted to show you guys a clip of hers. She was on the show, which I found very interesting as well. Let's take a listen.
I'm Courtney Taylor, and I do OF for a living.
OnlyFans. You got like 1 million followers or something?
2 million.
Damn. You look like the type of girl that only dates like rich guys. Is that true?
No, that's not true. I only date black guys, especially black guys. Especially black guys. Let me clarify. I only date rich.
Okay, rich black guys. There we go. And you know you're toxic.
Yeah.
You can tell she like black guys. It's like especially black guys. For all you watching, I'm with it. Do you like to be fully controlled, or do you?
I like to be submissive. Pretty well, yeah, in the bedroom,
Yes.
but like in my life, I don't like anybody to tell me what to do.
Yeah, so you only want them to tell you what to do in the bedroom. Other than that, you don't want them to tell you anything.
Right. That's exactly it. Yes.
So that sounds like you're a control freak with your relationships. Be careful with this one. She's gonna boss you around like
Sweet toxicity.
So you only date rich black guys. So like, have you ever dated like any politicians or only like rappers or athletes, or what kind of rich black guys?
No dope boys, no politicians.
Just strictly athletes.
I mean, well, you know, dabble here, dabble there, a little bit.
Have you ever dated any celebrities?
Dated? Well, I mean, yes.
What celebrities have you dated?
Just like athletes, Jermichael Finley. But,
Yeah.
you know, but like in my life, I don't like anybody to tell me what to do.
I'm gonna roll that one back one more time. It's few seconds right there.
Yeah, in the bedroom,
Yes.
but like in my life, I don't like anybody to tell me what to do.
You heard that, right? Now, I just saw somebody say something on Facebook. Roberta just said, maybe they were fighting over the X-rated content. Now, that could very well be what it is. She doesn't even say in this, and that could be part of the game. That could be part of her job, right? It could be part of the job not to let people know that she's actually in an exclusive relationship with somebody, because clearly she wants every guy to think that they can maybe get a chance to date her type thing. I get it. Okay. I get it. It's all about that look, and it's about that vibe. And especially with that OF jam, it's all opportunities to secure more bags, right? Now, this situation, to me, it could very well be that they were having a fight over her content, and she didn't like him controlling her. Or maybe, I don't know. I mean, now we're going into speculation land. Or it could also be a thing of her saying this man wasn't making enough for her. That could be it too. You got to remember, they were living in Miami, yo. They're living in Miami. So that could be a situation where she was sitting there going, hey, there's other guys with doper whips pulling up trying to holler. You know, that could very well be it too. But like I said, that's just speculation. But you hear that right there where she is sitting there. Obviously, she's promoting her OF. She's promoting what she does. Not once does she drop boyfriend's name. And I get it that could also be part of the game, part of her job. But at the same time, if she's out here talking about things like this and she puts out certain types of content, that could make a guy feel some type of way as well. And I could see that causing a rift between two people and where it could turn into something violent. Now, let's be real. She had a history of violence already with him. Cops were called on her for DB and DV in Las Vegas. Cops were called many times when they were living in Austin, Texas as well. Don't know why they still stayed together. Do not know why they still stayed together. What made them want to stay together? Maybe they thought they could not find anything better. Individually, they felt they couldn't find anyone better. I don't know. But for some odd reason, they stayed together and moved out to Miami. And then this devastating, terrible, and sad situation went down. Now, here's the thing. My only gripe, because we don't know what happened, why this went down, and that's one thing I'd love to know. If I could be a fly on the wall to actually know what went down, then we can actually come to a conclusion of, okay, it was self-defense or it was not. But one thing I do not find cool is you see a woman covered head to toe in somebody else's red. And the only reason why she was kept in overnight was because they were enacting the Florida Bakers Act, because she said things like, I'm going to do something terrible to myself if so on and so forth. That's the only reason why she was detained longer than she was. She would have walked. She would have walked. And that's really sad, because this is a situation where justice should have prevailed a lot faster than 4 months later. This woman should not have been able to smell freedom air. Should not have been able to do that as quickly as she did. And given the fact she was flown out to Hawaii for rehab. And hey, there's nothing wrong with her seeking her own sobriety, trying to find some sort of mental health, some sort of mental balance because of this act that she did. She absolutely did this, y'all. She didn't claim that Pillsbury Doughboy just showed up and did the thing. She did this, right? So it is wild to me that it took 4 months and a family fighting tooth and nail to get some semblance of justice. She could have stood over the body with the weapon in her hand, covered head to toe in red and saying, I did it, I did it, I did it. And that detective would have been like, well, hold on. Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it wasn't you. No, it was her. That's insane. And I don't blame the cops for going and arresting her in Hawaii. She went to Hawaii. God knows where else she could have skipped off to. Think about it. They had to extradite her back to Florida. She went to a rehab center in Hawaii, as far away as she could get to from Miami, for her sobriety. What if they were to say, oh, we need to take her in. We need to take her in right now. And they contact the lawyer, and the lawyer contacts her. Next thing you know, she's taking a flight to Spain. She's taking a flight to wherever as quickly as she could. I wouldn't be surprised. Shoot, she flew out to freaking Hawaii for rehab. That's crazy, y'all. So I don't blame them for actually arresting her and charging her with second degree. So we'll see what happens here. We will see what happens here because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And hopefully, like I've said before, this brings us a little bit closer to justice for this young man because it's unfortunate this is how it went down and that this person is no longer here. But by her being arrested, maybe we'll get more truths. Or I'm wondering, what other pieces of evidence did they have that makes them say second degree? That's one thing I'm still wondering about as well. Now, and it's funny because you have other articles that are saying, oh, she's in rehab for PTSD. But then there's other articles that are saying that she's in there for substance abuse and PTSD. Okay. But like I said, I'm still waiting to see what was it that brought her in for real? What was the piece of evidence that really, really brought her in for real? Anyway. Let me show you guys this. I'm just reading this before I was going to hop off, but this is interesting. So, of course, Prieto, her lawyer, okay, Courtney's lawyer, of course, has been saying that she acted out of self-defense. We have always offered the self-surrender if charges were filed in effort to begin the legal process of clearing her of the charges. So noting that this is an absolute injustice to charge a victim of DV. Now, this is this is weird. Let me just say this again. So Prieto told the Daily Beast this other article on Wednesday today, noting that this is an absolute injustice to charge a victim of DV, and this phrase, human rush hour, I can't even say that word, unfortunately, with a crime. Courtney was clearly defending herself. Hold up. Hold up. Let me just blow that up a little bit more so you guys can see that. So her lawyer is claiming that she is a victim of not only DV, but also that highlighted phrase right there. I call human rush hour. Because I got to use these code words. But what? What? Courtney was clearly defending herself. I'm sorry. One more time. So he's noting that this is an absolute injustice to charge a victim of DV and this highlighted phrase with a crime. So she's a victim of those two things. I mean, I can see the possibility. I could see the possibility of DV. I can see that. I will give him that. But what? The second part? What? That's insane. How is that even how is the lawyer even saying that ish? Do you understand? Then it's still you see the other people, Ashley Vaughn, the friends, a friend of the couple, saying that she hit him. She never seen him hit her. We didn't think this is how far it would have gone. What the hell? But the fact that this person, Army Hammer is another conversation, which we will be talking about tomorrow morning. But anyway, if you don't know about Army Hammer, woohoo, bad, okay? But this lawyer's claiming rush hour. That she's a victim of rush hour. Not only DV, but rush hour. What? I'm sorry. That is a stretch to me. That's an absolute stretch. The audacity of this lawyer. Where's that claim? They were a couple. They lived in many different, multiple cities together. Where is that part? That don't work for me, y'all. That do not work for me. That is ridiculous. Little Rock, yes. From where? From where, baby? Where? Wow. Leila Aguilar, thank you so much for the 10. Mental health, absolutely. All day, all bloody day. And I really hope she finds peace. But we also need to find justice, period. Justice above everything. We need to find the truth as well. Because, hey, we could be thinking one way and it could be a completely different story. Or it could be exactly how we're seeing it. One more. Charlie Miller, thank you so much for the 5. Okay. Wait, hold up. I guess you retracted this, but I still have it. But I'm going to read it out loud. I guess I'm going to still do it anyway, buddy. I'm sorry, Charlie. But anyway, if it was a sexy black female model who unaliving a good-looking white man, justice would have been swift and fact. Yep. Justice for Christian. Absolutely. I agree. You are literally you're preaching to the choir. You are saying the exact same stuff that I feel like we all feel, that if this was a different situation, if she had just a little bit of melanin in her skin and he had lack thereof, this would be a totally different conversation. Totally different one. The fact that she cried wolf literally by saying, oh, I'm going to do these things to myself. Cop said, oh, no, pretty girl. No, don't do that. We don't want you to do that. You're pretty. Don't do that. No. Now she's claiming, allegedly from her lawyer, that there's rush hour involved as well. Let's not forget the DV. Let's talk about the rush hour. What? Now she's claiming that too. Again, boy who cried wolf type stuff. And it's easy for a lot of the general public to instantly grab onto believing her, because we live in a world where people are innately good and they always want to side on the good, but this does not work for me. She was kissing her dog, hanging out, so on and so forth, going to having drinks with her dad, acting like nothing happened. I'm sorry, way too many suspicious things that were going on. Way too many suspicious things are going on, and now her lawyer is claiming, you know, the phrase that I can't even say. That's mind-blowing to me. Absolutely mind-blowing. Man, I want justice and I want the truth. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. But I do not need to see someone get away with this. And if it's self-defense, let her be brought into court. Let her fight it out in front of a jury of her peers. Bring the evidence, so on and so forth, so that we all can come to the conclusion of what actually happened behind those closed doors. But her actions and the way she has been treating this situation has been suspect as hell. Real talk. It's sad, y'all. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being on. Real talk. It's been a really great conversation. Missed you guys. I will be back on tomorrow. There's a lot of other conversations to be had. There's a whole Army Hammer thing that's been going on. I would love to talk more about that. And I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that conversation. There's just so many stories to talk about. So be sure to tune in, okay? And be sure before you leave here, hit that like button down below, all right? Please and thank you, all right? Be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. And please also do not forget to hit that subscribe button, all right? If you're first time checking out this show, or you've seen it before, you just haven't been, like, should I not? It takes 2 seconds. It's free to hit that subscribe button, all right? And of course, if you want to support the channel, you can easily hit that join button down below and just support this channel. You can also check out my locals. I got Patreon as well, and I got merch. Check that stuff out down below. That'd be really, really appreciated, okay? And real quick, shout out to all the mods. You guys are all incredible. I appreciate all y'all's support. It's been a crazy summer, and I appreciate you guys just holding it down. Y'all always been holding it down. I love every single last one of y'all mods. You guys are amazing. All right. So anyway, it's time to get going. I appreciate you guys for being here and chopping it up with me. And it's nice to see some familiar faces and some new faces in the chat. You know what I mean? My family's amazing. You guys are dope. I love all y'all. It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next show. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.